Well guys, welcome back to what you can see is a bit of a swamp fest down on Franklin's. You join me here on a Wednesday morning. I'm actually working from the bank today and got here late last night. By the time I'd finished work yesterday and got everything sorted, it's about an hour's drive here from where I'm working. So it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock before I set up. And just got into a peg that I was in the last session, not the one that I caught from, but the one that I moved onto. As when I did a lap around the lake when I first got here, couldn't really hear anything. There's a guy in the swim next to the Narrows, I think it's called, where I had that fish from last time, so I didn't want to go right next to him, and I knew where there were some spots on here, so I thought to myself, given the circumstances, I don't want to be leading around all night. So yeah, set up in this peg, cast a bare lead out on the marker rod to find those spots, which was about 12.5 reps. Felt that nice dink of the gravel and put 2 solid bags on it. So it was pretty quiet throughout the night. Did actually hear a few fish boshing, even though it was absolutely freezing, and I mean really cold. My phone said it went down to about -1. In the early hours of the morning, but I mean, as you can see now, it's beautiful and sunny, and it's actually really quite warm. So yeah, last night very quiet, had absolutely nothing, one liner, but that was it. This morning what I've opted to do is, I know that it's very shallow just out towards the small dot island to the left of the big island that you can see out there, and with this sun coming down, as I'm on the west side of the lake, it's obviously risen in the east over there, it's coming down pretty hard on that area there, and I know it's pretty shallow. So what I've done is I've stuck 2 zigs out, one probably about 6-8 inches below the surface, and then one probably about 1.5 to 2 foot off the bottom, and I'm fishing black and red foam on those. So I'm hoping that with this sun and it being so shallow out in front of me, that's hopefully going to draw the fish in and it'll produce a bite. So I'm here until tomorrow. Going to sit around, just do some work on the bank, and then fly out to Germany on Monday. So that'll be it for another month of fishing, unfortunately. But yeah, buzzing to be out on the bank. Really happy with all the nice comments and all the views that we've had on the last 2 videos. They've done incredibly well for the channel, and yeah, please, if you do enjoy this video and you're new, then hit that like button and then hit that subscribe button like it's one of your rods and you're locked up and it's about to go in if you don't. So yeah, I'm gonna start making my breakfast. I've been faffing around with work and resetting zigs and things like that, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Well guys, if you think you can take me seriously with this mustache for long enough for me to explain, I'm just going to go through with you the bait that I'm using on this session. I haven't done much filming this morning as I've been tapping away on the computer, just getting last minute things ready for Germany next week. But what I thought I'd do now is just sit down with you and explain to you just what I was doing on this session and why. So, I can't speak. So just before Christmas, literally on the night of the 23rd when I was on my way back up north, I filmed a Q Lake session, but wasn't really that into it. Felt like maybe I shouldn't have gone, and I should have just gone straight home. So what I would have shown you was my winter mix that I like to use. Now what that contained was hemp, corn, low oil pellets, and dead maggots. And the reason that I like that is because it's lots of little picky bits. You've got some visual there from the red maggots and a bit of corn, but for the most part it's nothing that's going to fill the fish up too much, but it's going to draw them down because it should act as a visual marker as well. So that's what I was using on that session. I'm using something pretty similar today. So what we've got is we've got some hemp, we've got some dead maggots, and then I've also got some casters with me, as well as some lives, which I'm going to put about 1/3 of the bag in here and save the rest for the my hook bait. So what we're going to do first is add the red maggots. Literally just going to get all of those dead maggots in there like that. Right, I think that's about 2 pints worth there. Just give those a shake around. They come frozen, so I just defrost them in boiling water. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a jar of hemp, and I'm literally going to get rid of the whole jar in here. And there's probably about 2/3 left from my session last time, and yeah, that will make up the bulk really of my mix. Next up, what we're going to do is I'm going to take some casters. Now, I'm not going to go mental with the casters in this, as I'm actually going to save a few for the solid bags as well. So I'm going to kind of do a 50-50 split, so that the solid bags actually have something in them that is similar to what I'm feeding as loose feed. So we'll just get those in there, like so. Once we've given that a good mix around, next thing I'm going to do, right, I've got the Smart Liquid. Now I want something that's going to draw the fish down and add as a bit of an attractant to this. So what I'm going to do is add a bit of boiling water to the liquid mix, as you can see there, like that. And then I'm just going to put that in there, give it a good shake around to get it off, as it's got pretty cold, I'm not going to lie to you. And then just going to pour out that liquid into there like that, and that's looking pretty tasty. If I was a carp, I'd be all over that, like a tramp on chips. Just going to get rid of the rest of that out of there. There we go, that's that done there. And then finally, all I'm going to do is just give that a good mix around. And that's kind of forming the fundamental base of my bait. And that, yeah, it smells lovely and fruity, and I do like a fruity mix in winter. I know some people still use fish meals and things like that, but I like to use milk, protein based and nut based mixes throughout the winter. The final thing we're going to do is just add some low oil micro pellets to it. Now these break down relatively quickly, and they're just going to pad the mix out a bit. When I'm spodding out, I'm only going to be using half a spot at a time, because as with my other sessions, as I've spoken to you before, over winter I like to get a spread of bait, and I don't like a massive amount of bait on there. I like a wide area, which has got tiny little bits, as you can see here, and just by using half spods from the wolf spod, I'm able to achieve that pretty well. So I'm just going to get those pellets now and mix them in, and then you can see the final mix. So these are those low oil pellets that I've been talking about, and that's what's just bulking out the mix. As you can see, they're probably not even a couple of mil. They're really small pellets, so we'll get those in there, and that should be the mix complete. A bit of an interlude there. Just met a guy called Robin who watches the channel, so cheers for stopping to speak to us there. Yeah, he walked past me the first time, and I always get a bit self-conscious when I'm filming these, because I think people think I'm pretty mental, but yeah, he stopped to talk to me, and yeah, really nice to meet you, so thank you and cheers for watching the channel. Anyway, back to the bait. So yeah, as I said, that's smelling really fruity. There's lots of particles there, and that should hopefully draw the fish in, not fill them up too much, but keep them grubbing around. That's the hope anyway. Lake's been pretty quiet from what I can tell. I don't think anyone's had anything at the moment. There's a guy that's fishing the silt bowl just over the opposite from me. Last night his alarms were going. I don't know if he had a run or whether he's getting picked up by coots or what, but there's maybe potentially a fish down there that's come out, but yeah, nothing's showing. So hopefully this will sort the problem out, and we'll be able to get the long common on the bank. So it's just coming up, about 2:30 now, and I've been pretty reluctant to spom anything out, just because of the wildfowl and stuff like that on it. Like I said to you, I've just made this spod mix, and for the first bit of the session last night and up until now, I've left putting any bait out. I just wanted to try solid bags and zigs and see how that got on, but it's produced nothing, so I'm plan was always to start feeding some more bait in, so we're going to put some spots out now. Swans are over there harassing someone else who's spotting, so it kind of gives me a clear window. But I also remembered I've now got my tufty torch as well, so that should scare any wildfowl. So what I'm going to do now is put out maybe 10 spawns, create a nice bed of bait in between those two spots that you saw me cast out onto earlier on, and yeah, hopefully we can produce a bite later on this evening. Same again, not expecting to really get any action until getting on for midnight, because that's when I seem to have had any sort of activity and things like that before. But yeah, let's start getting prepped and hopefully we can put a fish on the bank. I've had a couple of line bites on my left hand rod and it wasn't birds, so yeah, feeling really confident. And as you can see, weather is beautiful. Well guys, that was a quiet night and a bloody cold one too. My phone says it's about -2 and I'd be inclined to believe it. Rods remained pretty quiet throughout the night, same as on the last session. The aerator started pushing weed down onto my line, so I started getting maybe 3 or 4 liners in the night because of that, I presume, although it didn't go continuously this time, so I didn't have to reposition the rods. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a ball of weed, but it could have been liners. Aside from that, it's been really quiet. It's been quiet all over the lake, so yeah, not the session that I was hoping for, to be honest. I was feeling really confident last night. Yeah, at about 6 o'clock redid the rods for the final time that night, and at about 8 o'clock on the left hand rod had a run, bobbin pulled up tight, and then clutch started ticking away, fizzing off nice and yeah, sounded lovely like it does. But when I left it into it, there was nothing there, so I have no idea what that was. Don't think it would have been a trailer, but really confusing, and I've had that happen 2 or 3 times to me now on this lake. So I think I'm going to have a look at my rig mechanics and maybe have a bit closer look at some of the pictures of the fish and things like that, and see if I can try and put the puzzle together on what's going on, and why I'm not connecting with fish. It definitely wasn't a coot or a tufty that had picked me up, as I had the torch on and had a look, and there was nothing in the area, no wildfowl or anything. So yeah, bit of a puzzle, but it just gives us something else to work on. So it's coming up probably about 8 o'clock now, and I'm on my third coffee this morning. And yeah, after this one I'm going to have to start packing down, as I've got to get to work. I've got to be in the office today physically, so yeah, that's going to put an end to the session. The rods are going to remain out until probably about 10 o'clock when I pack up, and then after that, yeah, that'll be me in Germany for the next month and a bit. So I get back from Germany around February 21st, something like that, and then after that I'll be back out on the bank. So I'm going to lose touch with this place for a good month or so, which is going to be frustrating, and it's going to look very different by the time I get back. But yeah, I'll only be fishing here up until the beginning of March, mid-March, before I then move on to my water that I'm going to look at for kind of late end of winter, going into spring for the rest of the year. So I'm actually really excited about that. Been speaking to a couple of you guys on the Instagram page who know about that water, and you've given me some really helpful tips and pointers to begin with. Still feels pretty daunting to be going onto water like that, but I think you've definitely started to point me in the right direction, and I'm really excited to get stuck into it. I really want to get into this big pit fishing. Don't often get the chance up north, and if there are massive pits like that, then they tend to be syndicates which are difficult to get onto. So yeah, really looking forward to getting into it. So that's about all I've got. Beautiful this morning, scenery's lovely, light's great for filming. Shame it's so cold that the camera battery keeps on dying. But yeah, I mean, thank you for watching this episode. I'm going to leave it there for now, unless anything happens. Really appreciate all the support that the channel's getting at the moment. I think by the time this goes out, we've just tipped over 400 subscribers. And my last 3 videos, I've gone from, like, we're averaging over 3,000 views a video. The Drayton one's now on nearly 18,000, and it's mental for the size of the channel, absolutely mental. And I plan on doing big things with it this year, and hopefully the viewership keeps going up and up and up and up and up, because I'm really enjoying making these videos. And yeah, I'm loving being able to document back on my fishing and seeing how the sessions got on. So yeah, if you're new to the channel and you made it this far, firstly, well done. And then secondly, if you would please subscribe and hit that like button, it would mean the world to me. And yeah, it just helps the channel grow and get it out to more like-minded people who might like to see a guy with a dodgy tash set on the side of a freezing cold bank blanking. So yeah, if you guys are managing to get out on the bank, I hope you have successful sessions, and yeah, I'll see you guys very soon.